Vurhonga Savanna is undoubtedly one of the best and most popular reserves in the entire game, mainly because of its wide variety of species and various locations where it is not too hard to find good trophies. So on this occasion we're gonna go over all the locations, the best times, and every single hotspot map to hunt all the species on Vurhonga Savanna. And by the way, if you enjoy these kind of guides, and especially if you find them helpful, please consider leaving a like and a comment to support the video, and also please consider subscribing to the channel because we're trying to reach 20,000 subscribers and the only way to do so is with your help. So with that said, let's begin the guide. Okay, so we're gonna start the guide by going over one of the most popular and unique species present on this reserve, which is the springbok. You know, the springbok is a class 3 animal that goes up to level 5 medium, and as far as I'm concerned only makes diamond at level 5 because I've never seen a level 4 diamond springbok posted. Now it is also important to mention that this species doesn't have a drink time, which means that you're gonna have to look for them either while they are resting or feeding, which also increases the importance of knowing the max weight estimate for the springbok, which is 38 to 42 kilograms. You know, if you find a track like this one with this estimate, make sure to track it because you never know, it may be level 5. Well, in this case, this max estimate is only a level 4, which most likely doesn't have any chance to be diamond, but we're still gonna shoot him using the 44 lever action rifle, which is, along the 243 Ranger, the two best weapons to shoot springboks and pretty much any class 3 species. Let's see. He's down, we got him good. Now, before we claim it, first I'm gonna show you the locations where it's possible to hunt springboks, but first of all, the times on which I recommend you looking for these guys is definitely at any of their feed times, because in contrast with the locations they choose to rest, the places they choose to feed are way more open, which definitely makes them easier to see while they are feeding. Although regardless of the time you choose to hunt them, this species is always gonna have their need zones within a certain home range, which we're gonna call the springbok home range, and essentially consists of the area around this mountain, which also happens to be one of the best places to look for a diamond springbok, but it's also possible to find them on a good part of the center of the map, mainly on the right side of the road around this area. Same case for this other region right here, and for this area above this lake. Okay, unfortunately I got disconnected from the session right when I was about to harvest this level 4, so the information displayed on the harvest screen is most likely gonna be a bit messed up since I had to rejoin it. 66.06, it is a medium-sized gold, far from diamond, 0 cash and 0 experience for the reasons I already explained. Oh, look at that, they are coming back. And that's the max estimate, level 4, top estimate of 41, but I believe those horns are not big enough to be diamond. Oh, hold up. Another max estimate. And that one seems to have a pair of horns that are actually able to make diamond. So that is a diamond potential. I mean, it's still unlikely because those horns only make diamond like 10% of the times, it is quite rare, but it's still possible. So we're gonna chase him. Now, talking about the locations where it's possible to find wildebeest here on Vurhonga Savanna, first you need to know that the wildebeest have a drink time, and that drink time is from 600 to 900 in the morning. And at this time it is possible to find them on all the lakes located on the central region of the map, you know, all these lakes. Although the best ones are, I would say, this big lake right here is by far the most consistent spot when it comes to finding great amounts of wildebeest. Also, this lake up here tends to be decent, and the same can be said about these other two lakes down here. You know, the wildebeest is a classics animal which goes up to level 5 medium, although they also make diamond at level 4 quite frequently. Okay, I think that is the same herd. Yeah, they are nervous. And there's the max estimate. 80 meters out. He's alert. I'ma use the rhino. And that should be enough. Yeah, 50 to 75, the health is going down. I'ma go for the second shot though, because why not? And that's it, he's down. Now let's see the size of this Wildebeest. We know it is a level 4, which may be a diamond, might be. Let's see a score. And it is only gold, 36.92, bigger than the last one but still quite far from diamond. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Wildebeest inhabits all the regions present within the central section of the map. You know, that is the Wildebeest home range, which also happens to be the home range of both the lion and the gamesbok. So what this means is that these three species are tied to the exact same locations and consequently to the exact same lakes. Hence, the only thing that varies is the times on which it is possible to find the species drinking on such lakes. Like for example, the lion drinks from 1200 to 1500, while the gamesbok drinks from 300 to 600 in the morning. $91 to 105 kilograms. This is the track of a max estimate lesser koro, which could be from a level 5. You know, the lesser koro is a class 4 animal, and just as the majority of the class 4 animals, it goes up to level 5 medium, which is the diamond level. I would assume they can also make it at level 4, but I personally never seen one posted, nor I have gotten one myself, so who knows. Now, as for the places to find the species here on Vurhonga Savanna, the habitat of the lesser koro, in contrast with the habitat of the wildebeest, the buffalo and the warthog, essentially covers the borders of the map instead of the center. So of course it is possible to find them drinking all along the shoreline, all along the coast at their drink time, which is from 1800 to 2100. Also, you can find them drinking on these swampy areas, which are actually full of ponds that for some reason do not appear on the map, but they are there. I think he is just in front of us and he's coming back. Yeah, that's the max estimate, level 4. Unfortunately, he's not that big. We still have the rhino with us because it is actually a really versatile weapon. I mean, you can hunt class 4 animals, class 5s, class 6, pretty much every class from class 4 to class 9 without any issue. Now let's see the size of this koro. I'm honestly not too familiar with the horns of the koro, but it's safe to assume that these ones are not big enough to be a diamond. And yeah, it is a big colt with a score of 140.93 and a weight of 93.83 kilograms. As you can see, we had to chase him for 2 kilometers, and luckily at the end we managed to hit a double long with the rhino. Not too bad. You know, as I mentioned earlier on this video, the home range of the koro essentially consists of all the areas around the border of the map, which also happens to be the home range of both the cave buffalo and the warthog. You know, they are all tied to the same locations, which as you'll notice on this image, they are mutually exclusive with the locations of the other two home ranges. So of course, the main difference within this home range are the times on which the animals are gonna be at those locations. Like for example, the cave buffalo drinks from 900 to 1200 and the warthog from 1500 to 1800, while the koro drinks from 1800 to 2100. Alright guys, look at what I just found. 12 to 14 kilograms. This is a track of a max estimate jackal, potential level 9. You know, this max estimate is undoubtedly the rarest max estimate on Vurhonga Savanna and one of the rarest max estimates in the entire game, since the Jackal is one of the hardest diamonds you can possibly find. So it would be absolutely amazing if this track leads us to an actual level 9, because it's been almost 2 years since my last diamond Jackal. We gotta find it. Now, going over some basic information about the Jackal, first you need to know that the Jackal is a class 2 species that goes up to level 9 legendary and only makes diamond at level 9 with a score of 29.1. You know, just as the majority of the canid species present in the game, the Jackal also inhabits a great portion of the reserve, although the difference and what really makes it hard to find them is the fact that they do not have a drink time. So it is only possible to hunt them while they are either resting or feeding, and it really doesn't matter which time you choose because they can be found pretty much everywhere within the central section of the map, you know, all around this area excluding the borders. Oh, is that him? Level 3. Another level 3. And a level 8, that's the max estimate. 28 to 32 estimate. That's a massive mythical. I mean, the diamond score is 29.1, so I don't know. He's gonna be close. I've never seen a level 8 diamond jackal posted, but maybe it is actually possible. Now it seems to be less than 150 meters away. So I'ma show them using the 243 Ranger. On the throat. And that's it, we got him good. He's down. I'm really intrigued to see what this guy scores because I believe that estimate was the biggest estimate I've ever seen on a level 8 jackal. He might be diamond. I mean, I really doubt it, but perhaps there's a chance. Let's see a score. 28.76, it is a gold, really big gold. I was hoping he would be a bit closer to diamond, but I guess he would have had to be a level 9 for that to be the case. Now, as you can see on this image, the habitat of the jackal essentially consists of the whole map excluding the borders, which is actually very similar to the habitat of the scrub hare, although the difference is that the scrub hare does inhabit the borders, basically covering the entire reserve. Alright, so before we conclude the guide, we're gonna go over what was the most recent addition to Vurhonga Savanna. It is a species that was added to the map back on late 2022, and that is the Eurasian Wigeon. You know, the Eurasian Wigeon is a class 1 animal that goes up to level 3 very easy and makes diamond with a score of 905. And as for the locations where it's possible to hunt them, I recommend you setting up your tents and decoys at any of the lakes where they can land, which are actually quite a few, including some areas along the border of the map. Just don't forget to use an appropriate weapon like the 12 gauge Cacciatore shotgun, and make sure that if you wanna grind them on single player, make sure to try to kill the entire flocks, like literally try to kill every single dog you see until you wipe out the whole flock, because on this game the only way to get a dog to respawn is once you kill every single dog from a single flock.